Hello everyone, this is Abhishek Mahanti and you are watching Padarth Vigyan. So students, welcome to lecture number 13 of the chapter Vectors. So students, we have almost finished all the important topics of this chapter and this is the time to solve some miscellaneous problems from this chapter which will cover all the topics of this chapter. So let's get started. So students, the first question is on the screen. The question is, what is the linear velocity if omega vector equal to 3 I cap minus 4 j cap plus k cap and r vector equal to 5 I cap minus 6 j cap plus 6 k cap. So omega means the angular velocity and r vector means the position vector of the particle. And what is angular velocity? It will be discussed in the future chapters. But to solve this question, remember that the linear velocity v vector is equal to omega vector cross r vector. And here omega and r they are given in component form, and we already know how to find the cross product of two vectors if they are given in component form. So here omega x is equal to 3, omega y is equal to minus 4, omega z is equal to plus 1, and similarly rx is equal to 5, ry is equal to minus 6, and rz is equal to plus 6. So in order to find omega cross r, we have to use the determinant method, and for that I have to write I cap, j cap and k cap. In the second row I have to write the x, y and z components of omega, because omega is the first vector, r is the second vector. So in the second row I will write omega x is 3, omega y is minus 4, omega z is plus 1. In the third column I will write rx is 5, ry minus 6 and rz plus 6. And then I have to give this determinant symbol. And we know that the sign of I cap is positive, sign of j cap is negative, sign of k cap is positive. Now how to proceed? We all know the process. So I cap into minus 4 into 6, that will be minus 24, minus 1 into minus 6, that will be minus 6. So this is your first term, and then write minus of j cap. So you'll get 3 into 6, that will be 18, minus 5 into 1, 5 into 1 will be 5. So write 5 here. Now the third term is k cap into, so 3 into minus 6 will be minus 18, then give a minus sign, 5 into minus 4 will be minus 20. So that is equal to I cap whole into minus 24 plus 6 minus j cap, and 18 minus 5 will be 13, and plus k cap it will be minus 18 plus 20. So that is equal to minus 18 I cap minus 13 j cap plus 2 k cap. So you can see that the option number D is the correct one. So in this way you can solve this question, and now we'll proceed to the next one. So now look at the next question. The question is, if A cross B magnitude is equal to root 3 into A dot B, then the value of A plus B magnitude is dash. Again we have four options and we have to choose the right one. So it is given that A cross B magnitude is equal to root 3 times A dot B. So we know that the cross product of two vectors is a vector quantity, and in the question it is given that the magnitude of A cross B means AB sin theta. So here we don't need to write n cap because it is only the magnitude. So A cross B magnitude is AB sin theta, that is equal to root 3 times A dot B. We know that A dot B is AB cos theta. So AB sin theta is equal to root 3 AB cos theta. So AB will cancel. So you will get sin theta by cos theta is equal to root 3. That implies tan theta is equal to root 3. If tan theta is root 3, what is the value of theta? Theta will be 60 degree. We know that tan 60 is root 3. So after getting the value of theta, we have to find what is the magnitude of A vector plus B vector. So we know that if A and B are two vectors and if theta is the angle between them, then A vector plus B vector magnitude is equal to R. R means the magnitude of the resultant vector, that is equal to square root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta, that is equal to A square plus B square plus root 3, sorry, it is 2AB, okay, 2AB cos 60, because theta is equal to 60 degree, and square root means the power is half, so I can write whole to the power half, that is equal to A square plus B square plus 2AB, and cos 60 is half, so 2 and half they will cancel, and the power is 1 by 2, so that is equal to A square plus B square plus AB power half. So this is the value of the magnitude of A vector plus B vector. It means option D is the correct one. So in this way you can solve this question, and now we'll proceed to the next one. So now look at the next question. The question is uh, if A vector cross B vector magnitude is equal to A dot B magnitude, then what is the angle between A vector and B vector? So it is a very easy question. It is given that A cross B magnitude is equal to A dot B magnitude. So we know that A cross B magnitude means A B sine theta, that is equal to given as A B cos theta, because A cross B equal to A dot B. So A B sine theta equal to A B cos theta, that implies, so A B will cancel, so you will get sine theta by cos theta is equal to 1, that implies tan theta is equal to 1, that implies theta equal to 45 degree, because we know that tan 45 is 1. So option B is the correct one. So in this way you can solve this question, and now we'll proceed to the next one. So now look at the next question. The question is the three vectors A equal to 3i cap minus 2j cap plus k cap, B vector equal to I cap minus 3j cap plus 5k cap, and C vector equal to 2i cap plus j cap minus 4k cap, they form which type of triangle? Equilateral triangle, or isosceles triangle, or right angle triangle, or no triangle? So to find the answer of this question, let us first find the magnitude of each vector. So the magnitude of A vector is equal to ax square plus a y square plus a z square square root. So ax is 3, ay is minus 2, and az is 1. So you will get 3 square plus minus 2 square plus 1 square square root. So 3 square is 9 plus minus 2 square is 4 plus 1 square is 1. So we'll get 9 plus 4 is 13, 13 plus 1 is 14. So we'll get 14 square root. Similarly, the magnitude of B vector equal to 1 square plus minus 3 square plus 5 square. So 1 square is 1 plus minus 3 square will be 9 plus 5 square will be 25, and give a square root symbol. 1 plus 9 is 10, and 10 plus 25 is 35, so it will be 35 square root. Similarly, the magnitude of C vector will be how much? It will be 2 square plus 1 square plus minus 4 square, and then you have to give the square root symbol. So 2 square is 4 plus 1 square is 1 plus minus 4 square will be 16. So it will be how much? 16 plus 4 will be 20, 20 plus 1 will be 21. So square root of 21. So we got that A equal to square root of 14, B equal to square root of 35, and C equal to square root of 21. So if you look these values, then one thing will come to your mind, that a square plus c square equal to b square. A square plus c square equal to b square, because a square will be 14, c square will be 21, that is equal to b square is 35. So 14 plus 21 equal to 35. It means the sum of squares of two sides is equal to the square of third side, and this is nothing but the Pythagoras theorem. It means the three vectors will form a right angle triangle, like this. This is a vector, this is b vector, sorry, this is c vector. A vector and c vector will be perpendicular to each other, and b vector will be the diagonal or the hypotenuse. So the answer is they will form a right angle triangle. So in this way you can solve this question, and now we'll proceed to the next one. So now look at the next question. The question is a vector equal to 2 I cap plus j cap plus k cap, and b vector equal to I cap plus j cap plus k cap. So the two vectors are given in component form, and we have three questions, and we have to answer one by one. The first question is the unit vector perpendicular to a vector is dash. So a vector and b vector are given. We have to find a unit vector which is perpendicular to a vector. So how to solve this question? So students, I had told you that if a is a vector and b is a vector, then if you find a cross b, let us assume that you will get a vector c. We know that the cross product of two vectors is also a vector quantity. So suppose assume that a vector cross b vector will give you another vector which is c vector. Then this c vector will be perpendicular to a vector, and it will also be perpendicular to b vector. So remember that if I find a cross b, then I will find a vector which is perpendicular to both a and b. And then if I find c cap means c cap will denote the direction of c vector. So if c vector is perpendicular to a and perpendicular to b, then definitely c cap will be perpendicular to a as well as perpendicular to b. So this c vector is the unit vector of vector c. So we have to find the c vector. So first what we have to do, we have to find c vector which is a vector cross b vector, and we know how to find the cross product if two vectors are given in the component form. So for that we have to write I cap, j cap, k cap. In the first row we will write, in the second row we will write the x, y, z components of vector A. So I can write 2, 1, 1, and in the third row I'll write the x, y, z components of B vector, which are 1, 1, 1. So look at the question, and you will see I have written the values of ax, ay, az, bx, by, bz, and then give signs plus, minus, plus. So first I'll write I cap, then I have 1 into 1, that is 1, minus 1 into 1, that is 1, 1 into, okay, 1, yes, then minus j cap, then we have 2 into 1, that is 2, minus 1 into 1, minus 1. So now we have k cap, whole into 2 into 1, that is 2, minus 1 into 1 is 1. So 1 minus 1 will be 0, so this term will be 0, and then we have 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. So 1 into j cap means will be minus of j cap, and then we have this 2 minus 1 is 1, 1 into k cap will be k cap. So we'll get minus j cap plus k cap as vector c. So we have to find what is c cap, because we have to find the unit vector which is perpendicular to vector A. So we got that this c vector which is equal to minus j cap plus k cap, this C vector is perpendicular to A, but this is not the unit vector, because unit vector has magnitude 1. So how to find C cap? We know that C cap equal to C vector by C vector magnitude. So C vector is how much? Minus J cap plus K cap divided by C vector magnitude will be minus 1 square plus 1 square square root, means square root of Cx square plus Cy square plus Cz square. Here Cx is 0, Cy is minus 1, Cz is plus 1. So it will be minus J cap plus K cap divided by square root of 2. So look at the options. The answer is minus J cap plus K cap by root 2. It means option A is the correct one. Now we'll go to the next question, question number 26. We have to find the unit vector parallel to A vector. So parallel to A vector means we have to find a unit vector whose direction matches with A vector. So it means that we have to find A cap, because A vector is equal to 2i cap plus j cap plus k cap. So A vector is given as 2i cap plus j cap plus k cap. We have to find a unit vector which is parallel to A vector. It means which has the same direction as A vector. So indirectly it is asking you to find A cap, and it is very easy to find A cap. A cap equal to A vector divided by A vector magnitude. So A vector is 2i cap plus j cap plus k cap divided by what is the magnitude of A? It will be square root of 2 square plus 1 square plus 1 square, that is equal to 2i cap plus j cap plus k cap divided by 4 plus 1 will be 6. So square root of 6. So the answer is 2i cap plus j cap plus k cap divided by square root of 6. It means option B is the correct one. Now we'll go to the next question, the unit vector perpendicular to B vector. So students, remember that I had told you that this vector C, this vector C equal to A cross B, and this vector C is perpendicular to both A and B. It means if we find a C cap, this C cap is perpendicular to A vector as well as perpendicular to B vector. So C cap was found to be minus J cap plus K cap by root 2. It means option B is the correct one. This unit vector is perpendicular to A vector as well as perpendicular to B vector. So students, in this way you can solve these questions, and now we'll proceed to the next one. So now look at the next question. The question is for any two vectors A and B, prove that A cross B whole square equal to A square B square minus A dot B whole square. So let us prove this question. So it is given that A cross B whole square. So we know that A cross B whole square means what? A cross B dot A cross B, A cross B dot A cross B, and this result will be a scalar quantity, because we are multiplying these two vectors. We know that A cross B is also a vector, so we are multiplying these two vectors using dot product. Suppose A cross B is C, this is also C, so basically we are finding C dot C. It means the result is a scalar quantity. So I can write A cross B as AB sine theta. So basically we have to find AB sine theta whole square, that is equal to A square B square sine square theta, that is equal to A square B square 1 minus cos square theta. We know that sine square theta is equal to 1 minus cos square theta. That is equal to A square B square minus A square B square cos square theta, that is equal to a square b square minus ab cos theta whole square, that is equal to a square b square minus a dot b square. So in this way you can prove this question, and now we'll proceed to the next one. So now look at the next question. The question is, if a vector cross b vector is equal to c vector cross b vector, then show that c vector need not be equal to a vector. So it is given that a vector cross b vector is equal to c vector cross b vector. That implies I can write like this: a cross b minus c cross b is equal to 0. That implies if you take b vector common, then you will get a vector minus c vector cross b vector, that is equal to 0. So we get this type of equation, and there are many conditions under which this equation will be satisfied, but you have to prove that in order to satisfy this equation, c vector need not necessarily be equal to a vector. Means this is not the compulsory condition to satisfy this equation. I'll show you under three different conditions I can get this type of equation or this type of situation. So the first one is, if b vector equal to 0, if b vector equal to 0, then I will get this type of condition, means a vector minus c vector cross b vector equal to 0, because I have taken a vector, I have taken b vector equal to 0. This is the first situation. The second situation is a vector minus c vector equal to 0. That implies a vector equal to c. So this is one condition. This is one of the conditions. And the third condition is a vector minus c vector is parallel to b vector, is parallel or anti-parallel to b vector. So you can see that we have these three different conditions under which we will get this type of result. So it means if we are getting this type of situation, it does not mean that a vector should be or a vector must be equal to c vector at every time. Yes, maybe sometimes a vector may be equal to c vector, but in order to satisfy this equation, this is not the compulsory condition. So in this way you can prove this question. So students, that's all for today's class. We have solved many questions, and I hope that all of you have understood all the processes behind the solution of every question. But if you have any doubt, then you can ask me in the comment section, and we'll meet again in the next class. Till then, have a nice day and bye bye.